Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Daily Fantasy Digest Podcast, the all-inclusive podcast where we talk all things fantasy sports to help give you an edge. I'm your host, Joe B. We're going to be breaking down this Thursday, July 25th, six-game slate, small slate here on a Thursday. Not too many games all around here. Just to do a quick recap of yesterday. Absolutely crushed it on pitching, low-tier pitching. Teheran had like 26 points. Reynaldo Lopez pitched an absolute gem with like 33 points. The stacks that we had, Washington kind of just crapped out on us. Didn't really play too well. Dodgers did okay. It was not... if you didn't have the Yankees or the Twins in your lineup, it was really tough to cash. So, I was close in some contests, barely in others by the end of the night. So it was pretty much a wash of a day for me. But I want to move on into today and get this breakdown going. I'm very excited about this slate. I think this is a great slate with a lot of edge to be had. Let's start off with pitching here. We got 3 pitches above 10K. Really love Jose Berrios here tomorrow. Going up against the White Sox. White Sox just been terrible. Berrios' numbers from the start of the year have just been tanking downward. But I think this is a good buy-up price for him, as I think a lot of people are going to, flock towards Lucas Giolito, which is rightfully so with how well he's been playing this year. But I think Berrios is just the play to go. It's just definitely the way to go for me. I think it's just an incredible spot for Berrios against the White Sox here tomorrow. Now, once you get outside of these 10K guys, the pitching is absolutely disgusting. Nothing looks enticing at all. I know some people are going to buy low on Ariel Jurado here against Oakland. I'm personally going to pay for Wade LeBlanc here. I think you can get you at least 11 to 15 fantasy points going up against terrible Detroit Tigers offense. I think that this is just a very good matchup for LeBlanc. At least he's probably going to, jump in the second inning or so after Whistler kind of takes the opening. So I think this is a great spot for him tomorrow. There's a few areas that I really want to attack here as far as bats. One of those, the main one that I want to attack here, is going to be Cleveland Indians going up against Mike Montgomery, he's bad. He's really bad. So I really want Francisco Lindor here tomorrow. And I really want Jose Ramirez. I really think that these two guys are just incredible. Because if we just go back and we look at Mike Montgomery's numbers, Montgomery is a lefty. First game that he pitched, for the most part, the last 2 games he pitched for the Royals, just terrible. We'll have 5 earned runs up against Cleveland here, which is exactly what I want to see, 5 runs against Cleveland here. He was away. He will be at home now, first home start for Kansas City. So I really want at least these 2 as well as Carlos Santana. I think that these 3 are just a must-play tomorrow in all formats. I think there's just an incredible value to all of these Cleveland guys, and to be honest, they're really underpriced. Lindor's below 5K, which he's been above 5K for a while here on some of these recent games. He's been playing absolutely incredibly well, and Santana's actually been above 5K as well. Recently as well, as we start to get down here, it was 5K for a while. Tailored off a little bit, but I think that these 3 are the best guys to go with in the lineup tomorrow. I think Cleveland's going to be a very good stack to stack again, or it's two stacks. It's going to be pretty popular as well, but I think that these 3 guys, if you can get them into your lineup, is going to definitely create some edge for you. Now, there's 2 other teams that I want to take some players from here. One of them being the Los Angeles Angels, going up against Yacobanis here for Baltimore Orioles. So I really want to take advantage of that. I really want to take advantage of a cheap Justin Upton at only 4K, as well as a David Fletcher. These 2 guys I think are just really key, and they hit in the top of the lineup, and they're really cheap. Fletcher just has stolen base upside as well as some power behind him. I like Fletcher tomorrow, and I really like Justin Upton, he's just been incredible. I really like Justin Upton tomorrow. Mike Trout's definitely somebody that you want to pay up for. Just with how incredible he's been hitting lately. And Ohtani as well with the lefty bat. But I just don't think that affording them is going to be an option because I really do like Cole Calhoun as well, if you can get him in there just because of that lefty. If you want to switch out Upton for Calhoun, it's totally acceptable. But I think getting at least 2 from the Angels and then 2 from the Seattle Mariners is going to be very key. I really like Malik Smith tomorrow. I think Malik Smith, who is just super, super incredible with how well his stolen bases are and whatnot. It just creates just such a nuisance in the leadoff spot. And then J.P. Crawford, who usually hits second base. I'm not sure. Nobody's second base. D. Gordon is usually second base. If usually J.P. Crawford becomes second base eligible at some point, but it doesn't look like he will be second base eligible. So for me, it's going to be really important to at least get Malik Smith in the lineup, and then potentially Omar Narvaez if you can get him in there. We're team pay down for catcher here, so we're most likely going to be playing somebody like Bobby Wilson and or Jeff Mathis. I'm a big fan of Jeff Mathis. It's usually 5,100 for somebody like this. So you can get whoever you'd like. To be honest, you can switch out Malik Smith and you can go Mike Trout at this price tag. I mean, you could. I mean, just for the sake of this, we could go Mike Trout and have 3,400 for somebody like this to be able to get whoever we wanted. Hanser Alberto, anybody like that. But for the sake of the video, David Fletcher is just a great play for me. I really like David Fletcher tomorrow. So I think getting some players in from all of these lineups is definitely really important. Seattle is a dark horse for me going against Verhagen. I don't think a lot of people are going to stack that particular team. And then the Indians as well. Carlos Santana, just a great spot with Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor. I think that all these guys are just in incredible spots. You can interchange them any way you want. If you wanted two from Seattle, you can get rid of Jose Ramirez, move Fletcher up, and take somebody like Domingo Santana. You can get a lot of people in the lineup to really benefit as well. But this is roughly what my lineup is going to look like come lock tomorrow. Going with a little bit of a different type of stack. I usually do 3 and 3 from 2 teams, but I think there's a lot of value to be had here tomorrow. So for pitching, I definitely like Jose Barrios and Wade LeBlanc. Main stack is going to be the Cleveland Indians with Santana, Ramirez, and Lindor. I think they're auto locks. And then getting 2 from the Angels or 2 from the Mariners. I went Angels with Justin Upton and David Fletcher. And then I think a very, very, very key play is going to be Malik Smith tomorrow. The stolen bases are just so easy for Malik Smith. So I really like that as well. So, for the dinger of the day call, we had Anthony Rendon yesterday who did not hit a dinger, unfortunately, but we're going to go with Carlos Santana here tomorrow. I think Santana's going to really pick it up here and just hit a homer. I think it's going to be a great matchup against Mike Montgomery and just an incredible matchup for Santana. So that's going to be the dinger of the day call and the thumbnail of this video. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel as it does really help out reach other people who need help building their lineups. And want to hop on this winning train that we've been rolling with for the past 2 weeks now. It's just been incredible to be pumping out winning breakdowns like this day in and day out. So I really appreciate all the support we've been getting. So head on over to Twitter, follow us at @FantasyDigest_. Stay up to date with all of the tweets regarding the podcast and anything regarding before lock lineup changes that we do end up tweeting, as well as some breakdowns as well that we do tweet on Twitter. So stay tuned for that. Big announcements coming soon, so stay tuned for that as well. So make sure you follow on Twitter so you can stay up to date with all of those. So good luck to everybody tomorrow. Hopefully you all win some money, and this lineup helps you win some money. So appreciate all the support, and as always, we'll see you next time for another breakdown on the Daily Fantasy Digest podcast.